for being here. I want to first introduce our chair, our campaign chair, Coach Doug Snyder, former basketball coach at Allen High School. Please welcome Coach Doug Snyder.
Thanks, Shelley. Thank you for everybody coming out this afternoon, on this Tuesday afternoon in the rain. We appreciate it. My name is Doug Snyder. I've been a long-time teacher and coach over at Allen High School. I am honored to work for Shelley and to work for Rashid as he runs for the Court of Common Pleas. I've known Rashid since he's been a little budding basketball star at Robb Middle School. He came up through the ranks and I met him first there. He played at Allen High School for a year and he had an opportunity to attend a boarding school down in Newtown in Bucks County, the George School, in which he was a very accomplished player, which led to his 4-year career at Quinn and Mercy in Montgomery County. From there, he went to Widener Law School. So I was able to follow Rashid's career all the way through his time as a player and obviously then after law school, and I'm honored to be helping him as you all are helping him get elected. I've known Shelley forever. Shelley is an Allen High graduate, a 3-point bombardier. I would watch the girls basketball team play and practice, and she didn't miss. And she, after her years as a student athlete at Allen, she went on to Messiah College and played for Messiah College. So basketball seems to be a little bit of that connector between the Santiago family and myself. Now, Rashid has stayed within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, as I was thinking about tonight. He went to prep school in Bucks County, he went to college in Montgomery County, and he ended up going to law school. So he's been in the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania forever, and he has brought everything that he has learned from his various spots and educations back here to Allentown in the midst of Lehigh County. There is no better young man who is courageous, compassionate, caring about his fellow citizens than Rashid Santiago. And I'm just happy to support him. I'm happy that you're all here in support of him. We also want to make sure that we support him financially so you can open up your checkbooks and get some money out so that we can keep him rolling along, keep those blue and white t-shirts and some of those blue and white signs spread out over Lehigh County. I live in the west side of Bethlehem, and so I'm in Lehigh County, but Bethlehem, so I provide a little bit of a different perspective than most of us Allentonians in here. But again, I am so pleased to speak and act and perform on behalf of Rashid Santiago for the Court of Common Pleas. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Snyder. Next, I want to introduce to you Councilman Julio Gariti. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Shelley. Why am I supporting Rashid? Because he's a great man. You read it in the flyers that is on your table. He's a wonderful man. He's going to do a wonderful job. He's a fair man. It's very fair. I was surprised to see that he's already presided over 40,000 cases. That's a lot. I can't even count that far. But I tell you what, I'm going to be working very hard for Rashid. He's a wonderful man. He's a family man. He's a man of his word. He's ready to work, ready to start on the Court of Common Pleas on day one. He's not going to be learning on the job, and he's well known throughout the city. When he was running in the primaries, I saw his signs every single house, everywhere throughout the south side, north side, west side, center city, everywhere. He's well loved, and I heard great things from people who actually had gone to him as a magistrate, and either they won or not, they still like him. So he's a likable guy, he's an experienced guy, he has a lot of support in the community, and I think he's going to be the best judge in the Common Pleas, not because he's good looking and Hispanic and has a wonderful family, and he's from Allentown and all the wonderful things that we all want, but because he has integrity, and that's what I'm looking for, integrity. And I'm looking at somebody who's telling me that he needs a lot of money. Okay? He is a very contentious race, and I'm going to make sure I support him financially as well as working hard for him. So thank you very much, and I look forward for your support, and I look forward to seeing him swearing in the Court of Common Pleas in Lehigh County. Thank you.
Next, I want to introduce a long-term friend, former Allentown School District Board member, Elizabeth Martinez.
Good evening, everyone. I wasn't going to write anything. I was going to just speak from the heart, but since I've known Shelly and Rashid for over 20 years, I'm overwhelmed with emotion, so I'm going to actually read my few notes that I have here. So first, let me just say thank you to everyone for coming here to support Rashid, and as they stated, they need financial support as well. Thank you for showing up here, and I am Elizabeth Martinez. It is with great honor that I could have the opportunity to speak on behalf of someone whom I love and respect, Judge Rashid Santiago. I was introduced to Rashid when he was still in high school, playing basketball with my niece, with Shelly, and friends. During this time, I would see him at church and witness his relationship grow with Shelly Ramo, who he later made Mrs. Santiago. They recently celebrated their 10-year anniversary, so congratulations to you both. He is an Allentown native, born and raised, whose roots are here, and who truly knows our city better than most. He is a dedicated and loving father to his family and a friend to many, most importantly. Our families share many memories, including the stage in 2015 at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. He was announced the Grand Marshal, and I was announced La Madrina, which is the godmother of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And with those memories, he officiated my older son Sergio getting married last year, February 2020, before COVID hit and we all were on lockdown. Through the years, I witnessed his growth from attending law school, practicing law, currently sitting as a district judge, and now our future Lehigh County Common Pleas judge. So thank you all for being here to support him.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Our final speaker tonight will be former Lehigh County Commissioner David Jones. Thank you so much for being here, sir. We appreciate you.
My little practice on stump speeching. When I got out of the office, I made a conscious decision to kind of leave politics alone for a while. But when I found out Rashid was running, I had to come out and support him. Most everybody has said what's true about Rashid, if you know. I've known Rashid and his family for 50 years, it's a long time. I tried to date his mom. Long time, family affiliation. This is what I can tell you about Rashid as a person, and then how it correlates to his role on the bench. Rashid, like most young men who grew up in Allentown from under-resourced communities, had every opportunity to take the wrong path and to go the wrong direction. Every opportunity. But there was something on the inside of him that wanted better, wanted to do better. And he turned his basketball prowess into a doorway of opportunity and access. I remember when you guys first started dating, when you were working at the school. I didn't know it would turn into all this. I got reconnected with Rashid when he finished law school. I bumped him, hey man, what's going on? He said, yeah man, I need an internship. I said, well, you know what? Let me see if I can help. So I reached out to the solicitor for the county and said, hey, a sharp young man, he's looking for an opportunity. He said, sure, send me the resume, right? Now, being a county commissioner, the solicitor would have probably given him the role if I had forced it anyway. But this is what's really neat about this story. So Sorrentino goes and he looks at the resume, and the school Rashid attended, his wife had worked there. So she said, wait a minute, I know Rashid. He's an outstanding young man of character and integrity and leadership. So I really didn't get Rashid that internship. His character and his integrity got him that internship. Why is that important? As a county commissioner, I had the privilege of 8 years being head of the Judiciary Committee, sitting, working with judges, working with the president judges, working with all the district justices. They complained about not having enough office space and their dockets being too full and all that goes along with that. There was not one time that I've ever heard a disparaging remark from his peers. I don't know if you guys know this, oftentimes there is a bit of tension that exists between common pleas judges and magistrates. Sometimes they kind of look down their nose at them. Never at Rashid. He's well respected for his character and integrity, and here's why that's so important. When you're wearing that robe, when you're sitting on the bench, you can either be subjugated to the law or subjugate the law to your opinions, your ideals, and your ego. And when that happens, we don't get justice. And we need justice in our court systems. And Rashid's humility is the guarantee that we all have, that as he serves, he's going to provide equal justice for all. He's not going to elevate his ego, his personal agenda above the law, because that's simply not in his nature. He's probably one of the most humble individuals that I know. If you know him, that's sincere. He's having a hard time right now listening to all this stuff that people are saying about him. So we need him on the court of common pleas because of his character, because of his integrity, because of his experience. We also need him on the court of common pleas because he represents for tens of thousands of young people from the city of Allentown hope and opportunity. That they're a part of this community, that they don't have to be outsiders or bystanders, but they can be fully integrated into the system, the structure, the leadership of the region. And so for that reason, I encourage all of you to continue to support Rashid. Get your neighbors, get your friends, get your checkbooks out. You need money. Being a good candidate isn't enough. I've lost a couple of elections. You need money. I'm going to put another $1,000 in your account tonight. So thank you. Let's support Rashid. Let's make this happen.
It's $2,000 up.
So good evening. Thank you for all. Welcome for attending. Just thanks for those kind words. Those words, they mean so much to me. The reason they mean so much to me is because not only because they come from esteemed leaders in our community, but they come from people who genuinely know me, people who've known me for years. So I submit that those words are authentic and genuine, and they're really humbling. So I do kindly appreciate those words. So as you all know, I'm running for Lehigh County Judge. There's 3 vacancies this year. It's a huge year for judicial elections. From the top of the court, Supreme Court, all the way down. And the 3 things I kind of want to talk about just in my speech, because I believe many of you have heard my story. You know what I represent, you know what I value. But just to talk about unity being the first thing. And as the speakers kind of alluded to, if you look around this room, look left, look right, you see it's like a pack of Skittles, right? And you see all colors, all ethnicities, and to me, that's what this is about. Our community really needs unity. And you know, we just got off a really contentious May primary here in the city of Allentown. Now we have an opportunity to unite, and I'm just honored to be able to be, I truly believe I'm a candidate who promotes unity, who represents unity, and brings people from all walks of life together. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, we all bleed the same colors. And so my first point is I'm the candidate who really promotes unity, and I'm thankful for everyone here to kind of support me on that cause. The other thing I want to talk about, and I believe Mr. Jones alluded to that, is the representation. And these things in and of themselves are just factors. But when you combine all three of these together, I think they're imperative qualities that we need in a candidate. And representation, I mean, we were in a loaded field of candidates, really high qualified candidates. And there was 3 Latino candidates in the Judicial Court of Common Pleas primary. I'm the only candidate, the only Latino who remains in this race. We still have a nice group of diverse candidates, but for area such as the Allentown School District that has about 70% Latinos in our community, I submit that there's a need for representation on the bench. I'm currently the only magisterial district judge who's a Latino in this community. I don't say that to say people who are brown and black believe they're gonna win if they're in front of me. People just want a fair shake, and they want representation. And when they know that they have a fair shake and someone who is bound by integrity and justice, they leave there and they lose, and sometimes they're not so happy with you, but they respect the process. And now more than ever, it's important that people gain the respect of the judiciary. And I submit that as a candidate, I bring that representation to the table. It leads me into my third point, the experience. So I'm tested, I've presided over thousands of cases, and the one thing we can do as candidates is we can promote ourselves as how we're going to rule on matters and how qualified we are, and which is great because experience matters, but I submit that judicial experience matters. And when we're looking for judicial candidates, we want someone who's been battle tested, who's been making those tough decisions when you have 2 adverse sides making sound legal arguments, right? Some days, often days, I leave work and I say, everyone's mad at me today. But I know I did my job because I'm hearing the arguments, I'm providing a legal reasoning as to my ruling, and I'm affording people with just basic procedural justice. I'm explaining the process to them as they go along, and I think that's extremely important. As the only candidate who lives in the city of Allentown, obviously this event's in the city of Allentown, the Court of Common Pleas is the entire Lehigh County. But I really take pride in my roots here, and that's why the speakers who spoke can attest to that. And I'm still active in my community. I'm raising my 3 children. My wife and I live here in Allentown. This means everything to us, and we know it's so much bigger than us. It's so much bigger than my name. And as David said, I don't to have my name on these signs, and I'm really not for this stuff, but I know it's so much bigger than me. And I know the impact that people before me had on my life and have really steered me in the right direction. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. So with that, I know it's incumbent on me to even take it to the next level and inspire the next generation. And it's important that they have people who look like them, who come from the same socioeconomic circumstances as them, and people who just stand for character, who represent themselves on a daily basis with integrity. And I'm honored to be a candidate. I thank you all for your support. I think all the speakers kind of alluded to the needs here, but it's so much bigger than me. It's about unity, it's about representation, and it's about judicial experience. And I submit that those 3 factors, when combined, are crucial to this judicial election. And so I just ask that you all join me in these efforts. I can't do it alone. My wife and I, our small circle, we can't do it alone. But all you in this room have a great deal of influence in our community. And I just ask that you join with us, you team with us, you partner with us to take it to the next level. We can't do this without you, but we know that the ripple effect with all of these leaders in this room could do it. It has the potential for us to claim victory on November 3rd. So with that, I just thank you for being here in support of me. I ask that you join me in my campaign, and I look forward to this road ahead of us, and I'm humbled to be here, and just ask that you enjoy your evening of fellowship and food, and thanks for coming out tonight.
Rashid, Santiago, from here, for you, the vision that Lehigh Valley deserves.